Beautiful outside. I have cats that do that too. I swear my cats are, what's what I'm looking for? My cats are seasonal indoor cats. When it's pouring rain outside, they're inside. All right. So I'm going to start this out like I normally do. My name is Llewellyn. I am not a professional. I am not perfect. I am not a doctor. I cannot diagnose you, nor can I give you any prescriptions, nor will I ever give medical advice, just my own opinion. I am not a counselor. I am not a therapist. I am a child of God. And sometimes I wonder if God wants me, but I am a child of God. And again, and I cannot stress this enough, I am not perfect. I make mistakes just like everyone else does. So I just want you to know that. All right. So I've had a bad couple of weeks, maybe a little bit longer than that. And this last week, I was ready to just give up everything. I had left some groups and I was trying to stay off the grid, I guess you want to say, off social media. And I went, no, I still got to do my Friday. No matter what happens, I still got to come here because you guys rely on this. And if you guys don't want this, please let me know that you don't want this. If you do not want this, you let me know. So I said, no, they look forward to this. And if you look forward to this, you've got to tell me in the chat room that you want me here. Just say yes if you still want me to be here on Friday nights. Because I struggled. Oh, man, I struggled. I was like, no, I got to do it for Friday. So I got thinking about it, and I didn't know what I was going to do Friday. I had no clue. In fact, I have to tell you that I really got a couple of earfuls from really, really good people. One being Tin Top, which I don't see in here yet tonight, and another one being Matthew. Oh, yeah, Matthew, let me have it. Off of social media, he has ways of getting a hold of me. And let me tell you, he let me have it in so many ways. He was nice about it. Don't get me wrong. This is Lou he's talking to. But I know I'm not alone. I know that I'm not alone in having bad weeks, bad days. And if I'm not alone, please put not alone in there. I want you to know that with the struggles that I have, I thought that tonight would be the best night to do the 2 F's. No, we're not doing that one. No, we're not doing that one. Tonight's special is going to be called Forgiveness Friday. So today is Forgiveness Friday. Today, I need you all to join in and to forgive those that have hurt you and to forgive yourselves. Now, without looking up the actual definition, does someone want to tell me in the chat room what they believe forgiveness is? What does it mean to you? What does forgiveness mean to you? But what does it actually mean? Right, Rebel. Forgiving yourself so you don't live in the past. Well, sometimes you need to forget because then the feelings keep coming back. Yes, please be good. You are good to me, and I appreciate that. So, from a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being, it's okay, 10 being like major hardcore. Hold off now, Rebel. Hold off. No, let's not get too far here. I know it's not just about forgiving the person who hurt you. I get that, but hold on. So, from 1 to 10, 1 being it's easy, 10 being the hardest, how hard is it for you to forgive someone? From 1 to 10, how hard is it for you to forgive someone? A 10, a 4, a 10, okay? Forgiveness is letting go of the negative feelings you have towards someone or something. It depends on the person and situation. Okay. A 20. Oh my stars. That's like way up there. Okay. So how hard is it to forgive yourself from a scale of 1 to 10? Oh, tens. 7, 10, a 5. So you're in the middle. Okay. All right. So, as a child of God, I believe in God. I don't care if you do or not. That is not here nor there. I believe in God. And for me, in the Bible, it says you must forgive others in order for you to be forgiven, or something to that effect. And I find it like a 10 to forgive people. I really do. So today, I was talking to my youngest child who lives in a different state, right? And she was telling me the problems that she's having with her son's other grandmother. I mean, oh my stars, just some of you guys know the story, but I won't go into it. And she is like, Mom, she wrote this big long, storyline out. I guess you want to call it storyline. I don't know quite what to say it or what to call it. But she wrote this big storyline out and she goes, I want to post this. And I went, honey, no, honey, do not post it. She goes, but Mom, why? I said, baby girl, if you post that, it's going to be like the Energizer Bunny. If you know the Energizer Bunny, please put a 1 in here. Please tell me you know what I'm talking about when I say the Energizer Bunny. Oh, thank God. Because when I wrote that to her, and I'm expecting her to know this, do you know I got no response? None. I'm like, what? What do you mean no response? No, nothing. This is the Energizer Bunny that keeps going and going and going and going and going. And that's what happens with us when people have hurt us and we don't forgive them. Not because they deserve it. It hurts us. It hurts those around us, the closest ones around us. So here is the actual definition of forgiveness, guys. Let's go back to that first. So I have like 3 million computers up here. So the actual definition of forgiveness says to stop blaming or being mad at someone for something that person has done and not to punish them. How many of you want to retaliate? Put a 2. How many of you want to be petty? Put a 2. Oh, honey, I know. Yeah. I'm guilty of that one. So after talking to my daughter and after telling her about the Energizer Bunny, it hit me. I mean, I really felt like a brick went through my door and just hit me in the head, knocking me unconscious for a brief moment. And I'm hearing these voices going, you got to forgive. You got to forgive. You got to forgive. And you have to forget. And here's the reason why you need to forget. And I'm not saying forget what happened to you. I'm saying forget the feelings that have happened to you. Because if you don't forget those feelings, it'll just keep coming back time after time after time. And like he just said, there's trust issues now, right? So now we're going to have trust issues. And within these trust issues, we don't trust people so much anymore. We want to be close. We're people. People need people. That's what we were made for. We were made to have people in our lives to talk to laugh with, to joke with, to play games with. I mean, just someone to vent to. We all need someone that we can trust, that no matter what happens, that, and excuse my French, that your shit's not going to be out there. Oh, honey, I'm so sorry to hear that. It's true. They are the ones that hurt the worst, is the loved ones, right? So why? Why must we forgive? What do you think the reason is that we need to forgive? I love you, Lori. I love you, Allie. So we don't live in the pain and hurt. Yeah. I miss talking to some of mine too. Forgive people so you can be at peace with yourself. Exactly. Exactly. It's not healthy to hold grudges. Exactly. Exactly. So many of you know I am an abuse survivor. And my ex, oh my stars, you have no idea how bad I wanted to punish that man. So bad. I wanted to hurt him and make him feel the pain that he put me through physically and mentally and emotionally and verbally. And I was thinking of ways that I could do it. And do you know, I couldn't. I cannot intentionally hurt the one that hurt me the most because it would hurt me even more. It would hurt me even more. And all the pain that I held inside was hurting my children. Grudges hurt you, but also affect your relationships with anyone, whether it's friend. Exactly. It doesn't matter what relationship it is, it will hurt. And it was hurting my children because I was holding on to that hurt. I was holding on to those feelings. So I wrote a book. It's called Abused Is What It Is. And it talks about my life from childhood on up of me being abused. And there's even teenage stuff in there. Oh, honey, I'm sorry. It's hard to be better and not better. It really is. And it's all when people say, well, you need to be the better person. Oh, thank you. That's so sweet, hon. It's really hard to be the better person when you've been hurt. It is really hard to open that heart again, to trust someone again when you've been hurt. And so we take these tentative, tiny, tiny steps. Can I trust you? There are things that I have told what I thought was my best friend. Oh, I thought they were my best friends. And they told me things too. And I have kept their confidence. I have not shared it, even though they are now sharing my stuff out there. I have never shared theirs, and I won't. It is hard to walk over bridges with Bert. That's right. Oh, yeah. I get it, Allie. So as I looked up, oh, hon, I'm sorry. Please tell me it's not me. As I looked up the um, too many people prove to be untrustworthy. I know. Well, thank God for that, Rebel. Um, I really have no books. I don't have a script. I normally have things written out and stuff, so I'm really working off the fly here. So last minute, I looked up on my second computer, second laptop, what forgiveness is, why it's important, things like that. Um, next time. Um, but they say that there's three really important reasons to forgive others. Can you guys think of any reasons why it's important to forgive others? I'm a firm believer everything happens for a reason. It's a matter of how we handle it. Oh, my stars. Yes. Yes. I was going to get to that too, but you guys mentioned it. So, yes, we'll get there. I promise. So God will forgive you. That's a good reason. Yes. Anything else? Oh, last one was pretty good. What happened that I missed? Just we're just in a mental health group live right now to make yourself feel better, right? And I think I want to broaden on that or to expand on that, I should say, about making yourself feel better. Basically, what you want to do is you want to bring peace to yourself. You want to have peace of heart, mind, body, and soul. Let me tell you, we need that peace. I need that peace. I am telling you, every night, oh God, I don't want to do this. Every night these last 2 weeks, I have gone to bed crying because I have been so deeply hurt. Sorry. um, I thought they were my friends. I held out hope that, you know, they would work through stuff. And they didn't. They haven't. And people are telling me to block and move on. But they're not coming after me right now. They're going to, they're telling other people. Oh, thanks, son. So I unblocked them because I have nothing to hide. I am an open book. You guys can ask me any question regarding my mental state, my mental health, things like that. I'm not talking the physical side of my husband or anything like that. I'm talking in general. And I'll 9 times out of 10, I'm going to be honest with you and tell you what it is. So if you say, how's your mental state right now? I'm going to say it's not good, but I'm getting there one step at a time. I'm literally an open book. I've got it right there on Amazon, right? And it's hard. And I get that struggle. I do. It's hard because you really want to lean on someone. And that's what we are for. We need to lean on that someone. So one of the first things that we need to do is we need to forgive for peace of our own sanity. We need to keep the sanity within ourselves. I'm not saying that on my live, but I'll let you slide on that. But yes. So, like I said, one reason is that. Now, another reason for forgiveness is for the emotional well-being. So I'm talking about peace here, right? Restoring relationships, personal growth. I cannot grow personally if I'm holding grudges because that's going to shorten me. That's going to keep me mad. And I don't want to be mad. Thank you, Crazy. You too, hon. The forgiveness that I'm asking you to do is not for anyone else than you. You are the only one that can forgive wholeheartedly to bring peace over you, to bring your emotional well-being, for healing. I mean, it's not good to hold it in. Oh, thank you, Rebel Dawn. So believe it or not, it also improves your physical health. Now, I'm not saying be kind where they walk all over you again. I'm not saying that. You still need to remove yourself from them. You still need to remove yourself from the situation that is causing you mental anguish, maybe physical anguish, whatever the case is. But I can't tell you when that is. Only you're going to know when that is. Only you are the only one. You are the only one that will know when it's time for you to move on or whatever it is you need to do. So, physical health can turn into anger, and then you'll end up having unresolved anger, and it can lead to like headaches and high blood pressure. I'm guilty of high blood pressure, but sometimes stress just goes into, I don't know, I want to say seizures, and that's not the word I'm looking for. What am I looking? Strokes. Panic attacks. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. And so the only thing that I can tell you is lashing out. Yeah, don't do that. Is that forgiveness is not for anyone but you. I agree with that. I've had those. Still do. And I fight it daily. Fight it daily. Um, so then so when you forgive, you are when you forgive, what you're doing is you're taking your power back. And I have preached on this about having your power so many times that I even lost sight of it when I got hurt and I was in the throes. And I literally felt like I was in quicksand and I couldn't move, I couldn't breathe, and I couldn't focus. I'm sorry, hon. Um, for those that are new coming in, I'm also live on my YouTube channel of SAIL, SAIL, which is Surviving Abuse in Life. You can also catch it there if you missed any of the beginning of it. Because if we don't forgive, we use so much energy. And that's the way I felt. I felt like I was in this quicksand and I was drowning in the quicksand because I'm using all that energy to try and move and struggle and get out of the situations that I'm in, that I just kept sinking. If you've ever felt like that, put a 1 in the chat. Never change yourself for someone else who in the end won't appreciate or accept you as you are. Exactly. I had I guess you want to say a rope thrown to me, and I got pulled out today. And that's why Forgiveness Friday came into play today, because of that little rope that was thrown my way. There's a woman I know that she helped me do my nails back in April, and she has a machine that I can do vinyl on shirts, and so her and I'm gonna collab on stuff like that. Anyway, so she came out to help me put my banner together because it was just dark and stuff, and she broke down and cried because her wife wants a divorce. Her wife is cheating on her, and her wife isn't sure if she wants to be with a woman or a man, and she just broke down and cried. And I felt that pull, and I realized that I had to teach her how to forgive so she could move on, because she doesn't want to open her heart again. She doesn't want. This is the second divorce she's gone through, and this is the soonest. I think a year or two. I don't think they've been married that long. So she was just crying, and she's like, "I'm so sorry, I'm crying." I went, "No, you need to do that." And crying is healing, guys. I don't care who it is. Crying is healing. You may think it's not manly. You may think that crying makes you weak. Whatever the case is, it is healing. I don't care how long it takes you to cry. Cry it out until you can't cry no more. As an abuse survivor, and I left my ex, you want to talk here, or do you want to talk to the person? I'm kind of confused on that. Exactly. Thank you, Matthew. Waters your beard when you need to. When I left my ex, I had 3 children. Oh, my stars. I was scared out of my mind because I had been raised by this man, basically, in the 13 years we were married. He was always on my head saying that I'm not a good enough mom because I can't cook. And I didn't know how to cook. I didn't know how to cook because my birth mother didn't show me. He didn't teach me either. So he did that. I didn't clean because he had a certain way. He was OCD. He had a certain way that he had to clean things. And if it didn't get done that way, oh my stars, it was physical pain, let me tell you. Holding things in hurts you more than letting it out. The truth hurts and your opinion matters. Yeah. So I knew what she was struggling with. And I told myself too, I'm never going to get married again. I'm never going to do this, because go golfing. That's a good way of doing it. Hit that ball, slug that ball far, Squirrel, sorry. But the important thing is that I had to learn to forgive him, to forgive myself for expecting so much more than he could give. Wish I could afford to. I can't go there either. But it took a long it didn't what's we're looking for? It took a very long time for me to forgive that man. Space 0713, thank you so much for wanting to come on up, hon, but I'm not bringing anyone up right now, but thank you. I was hurting my children. And I don't mean physically, it was more of a mental, it was more of a, I just, I couldn't focus on my kids. That's a very good question. As if you don't know what to forgive yourself for. Can anyone help answer that? Why do we forgive ourselves? One reason you forgive yourself, and I'm hoping others agree with me on this, and I'm hoping somebody else also answers as I'm kind of like waiting for this, right? Why must we forgive ourselves? That's a very good question. Let me. Why is it important to forgive yourself? I'm sorry, Space. I can't have you in here, hun. All right. You are the reason to forgive yourself. What happens if you don't know what to forgive yourself for? It'll hurt you. It really will. It'll hurt you. It'll bring more mental anguish, no peace of mind. Forgiveness could be, in my case, forgiveness for my ex was I had to forgive myself because I expected more in that marriage than what he could give. You're not the problem. But don't make yourself the problem either. The reason I had to forgive myself is because, I was bad at this one, guys. I would start stuff just to get him angry because he would hurt me in some way and I want to hurt him back. And I knew what buttons to push to do that. I did. I'm guilty of that one. Think of things that you did wrong or people who hurt you and try to find peace within it, and you'll soon learn what to forgive yourself for. Yeah. You need to forgive yourself for the expectations that they could not provide, that you expected. But most importantly, you must love yourself in order to forgive yourself. Are we talking about the same person who used to be on here, or is she still on here? Sometimes we may cause a problem, but don't ever blame yourself for it. Just work on it, be a better version of yourself. And thank you for bringing that up, because here's another thing too. If I do something wrong and I hurt one of you and you don't come tell me and I hear about it down the grapevine that I have hurt you, I can't change myself. I can't better myself if I don't know what I've done wrong. So if I've done anything to hurt anyone, said anything that you didn't agree with or didn't like or whatever the case is, that somehow reflected I've hurt you, please come to me. I hope that I'm easy to talk to. I really do. I hope that you can come to me and say, Llewellyn, the other day when you were talking about God in your live, I don't believe in God. And I'm going to say, that's okay. You don't have to believe in God. I believe in God, and that's what matters to me. Exactly. Always go to the source. If someone hurts you, go to that person and work on it together, not with the whole. Exactly. But forgiveness is important for you and you alone, no one else, because you have to live with you. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to have this anger inside of me. I don't want to have the self doubt inside of me. I don't want to have suicidal thoughts inside of me. I don't want to have negative thoughts, period. I don't. If you laugh it off, it's not wrong. That's how you deal with it. And I, myself, sometimes you don't mean to hurt them, but you're going through stuff and you lash out. Don't mean you. Yeah. And that's true. And hopefully your friends understand that if you're having a hard time, they're going to go, hey, you know, you said some pretty rude stuff. Is everything okay between us? But we don't always do that. I think we all do. I think we all hurt the closest ones to us because they're there and we feel comfortable enough to say or do whatever it is we need to do. And then they're still there for you. Exactly. Right. If someone says stuff like that to me, I'm like, hey, are you okay? Did you mean to say that to me? And sometimes, like, no, I'm just so mad or frustrated or whatever the case is. Right. So if you have anything in your heart to forgive someone or yourself for, put a one in the chat. Reconciliation doesn't always happen. Reconciliation doesn't always happen, and you can still forgive them if you don't reconcile with them. It just means that, well, let me give you a really good example. When my egg donor had us children, she told me that my children ruined my life like her children have ruined her life. It took years to get that out of my head, years to realize that I was worthy, that my children were worthy. And then I forgave her. And then because she wanted nothing to do with me, which I was fine with, I had nothing to do with her, she was like a stranger. So when I found out that she died, I found out in January that she died last April. So she'd been dead for over a year, right? Um, when I found out that she had died, do you know what my reaction was? Nope, I wasn't shocked. Yeah, nothing. I was like, oh, that's a bummer. It's like a stranger. And that's what we need to do. We need to keep them. What's that saying? Let me think of that saying. It goes, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. But I don't want them closer. I don't want to know what they're doing because in the end, they'll get their upcomings or karma or God will handle it or whatever verbiage you want to say. I just know that I did the best I could to try and talk to the people, to reach out to them. I did the best I could to tell the truth to them because they heard lies. Um, and I don't care if people hate me or not. But I really wish they'd hate me based on truth, not lies. Just saying. Yep. So all we can do is just forgive, forget, and heal, and just be happy with who we are. Yes, never can. You need to stop asking yourself why. Thank you for bringing that up. Continue to ask you why will drive you nuts. So don't ask why. And you may never actually find an actual answer. What's that? Closure. You'll never find complete closure with it. So you have to have your own closure with forgiveness. You'll have to have your own closure with, I'll say, forgetfulness. They're done. Here they are. Now they're gone. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. So, is there anyone that would like to come on up and share something about forgiveness that they want us to know? That is true. You cannot ask for logic from someone who's being illogical. That is so true. Thank you, Rebel, for coming on up.
Hello. Oh, forgiveness. I reached out to this person just now, and I hurt this person, and I know this, I hurt this person deeply, but I was going through some stuff, and it had nothing to do with this person. Nothing.
I'm sorry, it had nothing to do with what?
And this person, that why I
okay.
wasn't talking to this person. And I'm sitting here in this live, and I just realized it. Like, we were talking about reasons why we don't maybe not talk to somebody and they're lashing out. And it hit me like that person didn't even know why I stopped talking to them. And I stopped talking. I literally closed my account. I was dealing with my son's brain surgery. I was getting bullied on here. So there was a lot going on.
Sounds it.
And yeah, I was suicidal. I was suicidal several weeks ago. And yeah, and I just reached out to this person, and I hope this person can forgive me and we can move past it. I also take responsibility that our friendship will probably not be the same.
Mm-hmm.
And that's on me. And if I want it to go back to that, how it was, I have to be a better person.
So what do you think that you have learned in all of this?
That I need to be more open when I'm having an issue, not even an issue with someone. If I'm going through something and I need to take a break to let the people that I care about, hey, I'm not blocking you, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. But if you don't hear from me for a while, just know I'm going through something and I will be back. It has nothing to do with you.
So communication.
Yeah. And I'm bad at that because I'm an abuse survivor. Domestic violence. I had childhood stuff.
Same here.
That I will be talking about, making content on it.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm still dealing with it. It's just, it's hard because now, when you start opening up, I guess, portals or whatever, as you get older, you start reflecting and stuff is coming up, which I'm sure you know, and Matthew and everybody down here in the chat knows. And then you're going, it's hard, and it's like sometimes it's like a flood. Like, how am I going to deal with all this? Because there's stuff I've done to my son, and because of self-medicating and and I hurt him, and it had nothing to do with him.
So, do you journal?
Yes.
Do you journal what you've done?
No, but I'm going to start doing that.
So, my suggestion, and it's just a suggestion, it's my opinion, you don't have to do it, whatever, is to write down all the stuff that you've done. And then on this side, what part of it can you change? Is there anything that you can change? Is there anything that you can do?
Oh, I can change 100% of the stuff that I've done.
Well, there you go.
And I haven't wrote it, but I'm starting to change the things that I've done.
All right.
Just by being
So,
a better person. And so,
coming back to forgiveness, what do you need to do to forgive yourself?
to try and tell myself, even my younger self, that you did what you did because you didn't know you didn't know any better.
Right.
And even if that's your younger self is 6 months ago or 3 days ago, you did what you did and you reacted the way you reacted because you didn't know any better. You didn't have the tools. So don't beat yourself up.
Good. Thank you. I appreciate you coming up. Is there anyone else that would
You're
like
welcome.
to come on up and discuss their forgiveness that they need or would like to share or whatever the case is? Because forgiveness does start with you. No one else. Not me, only you. And you don't have to go if you don't want to. That's totally up to you. But just know I have a group on here called You Are Not Alone. And you can message in there anytime. And we all look. We all look. And there's some bad things that I put in there, which I probably shouldn't have. But I was feeling at a real low until I realized that I need to forgive myself. I need to say, Llewellyn, you did everything you could. You can't change. What's that? You can't change stupid, I think it is, or you can't fix stupid except for duct tape. I don't know. I forgot how it goes now. But I'm feeling better today than I have in the last couple of weeks. And a lot of it is due to my tin top and my Matthew and my husband telling me basically, you got to move on. If nobody wants to talk to you about it, that's on them. That's on them. That's it. You can't fix stupidity, but you can muffle the sound. Hey, everyone. Truck driver's wife is my child. Yes, my oldest daughter. How was the Great Wall? I hope it was good. But forgiveness, like I said, starts with you. So make sure that you start learning how to forgive yourself. Yes, you did too, daughter. Hi, Tank.
Hey, Llewellyn, how you doing?
I'm well, thank you. How about yourself?
I'm, I'm about as good as I can be these days. This particular topic, forgiving yourself or forgiveness in general, it's one of the biggest parts of how I grew past a bad marriage.
Yeah.
First thing, there were a few lessons I had to learn. Number one, I can't control anybody's thoughts, words, and actions but my own.
Exactly.
Then I had to acknowledge, because no relationship fails without help from both sides. Whether I had a big part or a little part really doesn't matter. I did have a part in it.
Yep.
So I had to acknowledge that, and then recognize that I was living in a constant world of reacting in a situation where I didn't have to react. And I learned all that stuff after the fact.
Same
I
here.
didn't have counseling, and that was a big help.
Yeah.
But one of the big things that I learned is to forgive her for all the things she did to me, because I couldn't, because even after the divorce was final, there was still so much anger and for want of a better word, hatred. I don't hate her anymore. I just, I kind of feel sorry for her because she's stuck in the same cycle of behavior that she's never going to get out of, because she has to be able to she's got to be able to look at herself in the mirror and recognize that she's got these issues that need to be dealt with. And I don't see it ever happening. And I've had to forgive her time and again, even since the divorce, because up until the last couple of years, she's always done something to, she does she's always trying to find ways to hurt me or to get at me.
And in the very beginning that you've trying to forgive her, how hard was that for you?
And in the beginning, it was impossible.
Yeah.
I didn't want to forgive her. I didn't want, and I understand. Look, I understand forgiving her. That's not for her. No, forgiving her was for me because I couldn't let go of the anger and then the hatred towards her as long as I didn't forgive her. I just held on to that like it was a solid possession.
Yeah.
So it took me a couple of years to get there.
I wanted to address that comment down there. Maybe she needs help. And let me tell you something. Maybe she does. But if they don't acknowledge that they need help, there's nothing you can do. Continue on, Tim.
That's a fact.
Anything else you want to share?
Forgiving myself was easier.
Yeah.
It wasn't easy. It was just easier than forgiving her. Because I was disappointed in the way I let her push my buttons. I should have known better and I should have done better. But, we live and learn. But that's why when I'm confronted with issues like here on Clapper is a good example. Nobody on Clapper gets under my skin. They might get into my head for a couple of days, but then I just flush them out. I utilize the block button if need be, and I move on.
I have to ask, what is your flush out?
For example, some of the people that I block, to me, they no longer exist.
Yeah.
They're not a thought that goes through my head. I honestly, with the exception of one person, can't tell you who I've got blocked. And I just continue. I always try to be the best person I can be. But you're going to have conflict with people. You're going to have people that say things to try to get under your skin or to hurt you, and they just can't do it. I don't let anybody rent space in my head anymore. That was a lesson I learned after my marriage, and it took me a few years to get there, but I'm there now.
Very good. I hope y'all heard that. If not, it's on my YouTube channel. And go back and let's do it again, because his words are words of wisdom, ladies and gentlemen. Words of wisdom. Anything else you'd like to share?
There's not no, Jojo. There's not a block button, but it's totally your decision to let people get into your head and rent space in your head. If somebody does something to hurt you or talks about you, you don't have to give them the time of day. You don't need to spare a thought for them. If they don't, to me, if they're denigrating you, talking bad about you or someone you care about, they have issues of their own that they need to resolve, but that's not your problem. If they can't, if that's how they want to be, they can just go be that way somewhere else. You don't have to give people that kind of power over you.
Exactly.
And I don't. I mean, even if you hear about me being involved in some kind of drama going on in Clapper, it's very, very brief, and I don't stick with it. I just turn my back on it and move on. Life is too short, and I don't need the stress.
Amen to that one.
Well, remember, I've had heart attacks and strokes. Stress is not a good thing for me.
No.
Not that it's good for anybody, but it's,
I was gonna say that.
it can be life-threatening for me.
Exactly. It's not good for anyone. Exactly.
Ronnie, you're right.
That's right. You are your own person. You can control what you do. You can't control what
Okay, I
others
can
do.
jump down now,
Yeah.
somebody.
All right. Thank you, Tank. And you're right on that.
I can drop down if somebody wants to come up.
Yep. And you're right about that. You are your own person. Only you can control what you say or do. You can't control others. Yes, what people say behind your back is none of your business. Well said. Is there anyone else that would like to come on up and say something about forgiveness? Something that they've dealt with or are dealing with or anything? You don't have to. I'm just asking if somebody would like to. Because after having that rope help me pull out from the most unlikely source, I'd never even expected her to help pull me out of that. With the help of others, that right there was the last stepping stone I needed to get that to get me out of the sinking sand, out of the quicksand. And I look back now, and I know it was only just a few days ago, but I look back and I'm like, why did I allow it to affect me like that? Because I thought they were friends. I thought I could trust them, right? Just because I'm a loyal friend doesn't mean everybody else is. I would literally go out of my way, and I have, to give people money that I don't have to help them because they have less than I have. I've done that. I knew someone who had no food, and I used my credit card, even though I had very little money on that credit card because it's almost maxed out because I've been using it for gas and stuff. Oh, I know I do. I know I have loyal friends, but I'm just saying in general that I literally would use my credit card and I paid for an Uber to have food delivered to her because I felt bad. I would have my husband talk to her and someone else that lived with her. I won't say because you guys will know, and help them fix so they can have heat. But yet they talk bad about me. And it took a while for me to go, okay, all right, it's not me. Maybe it is, but if it is, I don't know because they haven't talked to me. So as far as I know, So I have to forgive. I have to move on. I have to let go. I got that rope so tight around me. I felt like I was suffocating with it. I felt like one of those, I forgot the name of the snakes, right? Oh, thank you. The snakes just want to wrap you up and eat you alive, right? I really felt that suffocated. I felt so heavy on my chest. Exactly. And now that I have done the forgiving, now that I've forgotten, or I'm on the verge of forgetting, okay? Now that I've forgiven, I actually feel free. I feel like this heavy weight that snake squishing me so bad has let me free. And believe it or not, Boa, that's it. Boa. Believe it or not, I actually prayed to God. I said, God, if these things are happening because you are making them happen, the bad things, give me a sign. And I told him what I wanted. It didn't happen. I said, if it's Satan, in Jesus' name, you've got to leave me alone because you don't belong in my head. And I tell you no lie, within 20, 30 minutes, I literally felt like I could breathe, like there was air. And I could see the beauty around me. My husband's checking his trap, so we were out in the middle of nowhere. It's even more so than we are right now. And it was beautiful. The sounds of the birds. I could hear them chirping, and it was beautiful. My dogs were out the window like, I want to be out there playing. And it was beautiful. My dark glasses that I had on for the pain, the anguish, they were removed. And all I could see was beauty around me. And it was amazing. Now, before we close, is there anyone else that wants to pop up Say something, not say something. Okay. So if you've learned anything in here, please put it in the chat room. Thank you. So before I bring Matthew up, before we close, I'm going to close over here on my YouTube channel. I want to say thank you very much for being here. Know that you're not alone. You are not alone. You are worthy. You are enough. And I look forward to seeing you again next Friday. Thank you and take care. All right. So